So Aditi, welcome to this amazing conversation session of marketing. And it's been like 16 years you have been in this particular marketing. So just wanted to understand how far things have been changed as per your experience and your overall journey of the 16 years in marketing.
It's a pleasure to share, stories as well as experiences and some insights also related to marketing. 16 years, over a decade, yes, it's been very, very long. I would say I come from that era where traditional marketing, the ATL and BTL
Yes.
terms, above the line, below the line. So, yes, I was also thrilled when I still remember, I was thrilled when Facebook launched its platform and then they said, okay, we would be starting for the social media ads, and how they started from static and now it has gone beyond even expected what was there a decade back. So it has been an exciting journey. So that has been a great learning journey for me, and managing brands from BFSI to FMCG to some of the celebrities to events and a basic level, startups, sole proprietors also has been something which is amazing to understand, because everyone's objective is very, very clear that they want people to come to them and they want to generate business, they want to generate awareness, they want to generate revenue. So the objective commonly known is the same, but how do we reach out and how do we actually be successful in converting that objective and transforming and transitioning that objective as a vision is something which, over a period of time that I have learned.
That's great. And hearing that from the traditional people, how the things have evolved in marketing, and you are the I can say the example of that particular experience. You have that particular sense what has been happening in the past, because now we always see that traditionally this was happening and now this is happening, but you have literally experienced that. So that's something which is obviously a value addition for our audience here on. So just wanted to understand, you mentioned that you are into banking, FMCG. So how the things are pretty different in terms of marketing in this industry segments, and how you differentiate with the current technological or tech-based companies. Mostly, if I say about B2C or B2B, how you differentiate that, and if there is anything you want to bring to for our audience.
So one thing, I would like to always convey this, that, fundamentals of the marketing have never changed. Okay, people say that it's, transformed from traditional to the modern marketing and to the techniques, a lot of service oriented industry is becoming more product oriented because of the tech tools that have come in. Okay, and they still want to reach out, so everything is getting well integrated in terms. So we can't leave or go away from the PR or the newspaper ads or anything. That is also one part. So it is just becoming integrated, more well synced. It is you want to be there at each and every touch point where the consumer possibly would be. Whether it is a newspaper, whether it is just a simple banner, whether it's a vehicle, or whether it's big holdings, and still you want to have those ads coming in digitally also, like, oh, I saw this ad, but I saw this ad on social media as well, or I saw this ad on YouTube also, I saw those ads on OTT platforms also. So I think fundamentals have not changed. It's just the platforms and the wider acceptability as well as the availability of communicating to the audience, to a larger audience, has been facilitated over the years. And industry segments, yes, there is a lot of difference. There is a lot of emotionally connections, that emotionally connected audience that is there. There is digitally connected audience that is there. So if we have to say, if we have to say what marketing is all about, then definitely marketing is all about emotions. Everybody wants to know how emotionally I'm connected with the brand as well. Okay, it cannot be just a very plain simple statement. So whether it is a banking industry, whether it's a fintech industry, or whether it's an FMCG, the main objective is connecting to the audience chord. And that happens with emotions, that happens with the needs that the audience requires, the possibilities of solving their problems, or a state of that particular phase, how do we solve it, that is something getting more and more concrete.
So there's something like obviously the fundamentals were as still same, but the medium has been like changed. So definitely one has to make sure that whatever the messaging they are putting in B2C or B2B, that has to be like targeted to their customer mindset, what they are looking for exactly. So thanks a lot for answering that. I just wanted to learn more about your experience being like CMO. You have founder, you have the CMO, you have been like mentoring entrepreneurs as well. How you usually like maybe you might get many questions from them. Anything that you would like to bring up, which is still something which is a myth for them, but you have like been clearing the thoughts. No, this is something that has to be there in the marketing. So, any point from your past experience you can bring?
Okay, so the basic thing that what we miss out, okay, in I was talking about the iceberg format, where before going to the market or before launching your product, also try to
Yeah,
understand what is your ideal customer, who is it that you are going to resolve, solve problems of, what are their needs, what are the solution based possibilities that you can cater to, what are the avenues where you can actually connect with. So unless you know what you are doing it, why you are doing it, for whom you are doing it, I think nobody should even think of anything marketing or sales, because this is one thought that needs a lot of clarity. Though on ongoing basis there will be a lot of improvisation, but I would say have a perfect and have a clear vision. Okay, this is what I want to do, and evolving along with the trends also. You cannot just stop. You cannot just times people think one content is sufficient for all the platforms that we have, whatever digital platforms are there. um, I would say that is a very very wrong strategy to use. And most of the times it doesn't work, because if that was the same, then we would only be sticking to one social media platform, right? We wouldn't have
right,
multiple social media platforms or digital platforms. So identify the purpose and objective of those platforms also, right? If we are talking about,
yeah,
say for an example, if we are talking about public transport, and if we are talking about normal private transport, there is a difference of audience, there is a difference
right,
of understanding to that particular advertisements also. For all these digital platforms, please understand what is their objective, and when you understand and say synergize with that objective also, it works well. So Facebook might work for more lifestyle videos and all, LinkedIn might work something which is more professional level or education level or informative level. So these are the things that you have to create a strategy upon and go slow platforms, right? If it is a
yeah,
sports event, then it is a very moment marketing kind of a thing. Immediately after the sports is something, or during the sports you want to engage into some conversation, whether you will win, whether you will lose, or something is happening in the race. So that also has to be considered. You have to come up with a plain strategy, but you have to consider all these factors while creating any sort of messaging towards the audience, also considering the objective both ways, not just one way objective.
yeah. That's I think
Yeah.
pretty much like summarizing the whole marketing concept that one has to like apply. So just coming to the next question, what mistakes that people or entrepreneurs usually do in marketing, and what you would like to suggest that this should not happen when you are like strategizing your marketing?
Biggest mistake or myths, probably I would say, is marketing has been always treated as a cost center, right? And till date, a lot of times, a lot of people confuse it. Ki, okay, I have to make kharcha in marketing, not invest in marketing. Okay, so that spends. I think that is something which people should understand. Funds. I would say there is always a scope of allocating budgets in a right way, rather than going all over. Okay.
Right.
So one of the biggest mistake they do is take the budgets and just spend across all the platforms.
Hmm.
Okay. Rather than that, I would say, okay, take your budget allocations. Okay. Try to understand how much percentage of revenue would you be liking to generate, and work little backwards. What fits best for you in those allocated funds is very much necessary, which we miss out. okay, we tend to do ads because we are rushed into so much of an it's like an ad factory at times, right? You just open its ads, okay?
Right.
I would say choose particular one or two platforms first. Try to understand the formats of what ads or marketing would work for you. Allocate those funds according and compulsory try to keep checking on your audience, whether the audience, because it's all data driven, we from each and every platform, okay, free of cost, we get the basic information of our audience. What are their interests, what is the age group. Over 3 to 6 months, if you're constantly monitoring everything, you kind of get more clarity of which product, okay, this is a product was targeted for a particular audience, okay, but because of the insights I have received, my audience is probably a different age group. That means I need to change my communication and messaging relevant to that particular audience. So there would be millennials, there would be professionals, there would be male, female, location wise also a lot of times, things work in a particular location, things don't. So then if you say, okay, this particular location is working well for me, then focus on that particular location. Then do your lot of people miss out on the A/B testing, A, B, C, D, whatever. So I feel that testing is also very, very important for them to do it. One message or two messages. It's like a Chinese whisper, right? Start giving the info change by the time you actually reach out to the end consumer also.
Right.
So make sure that your message is common and standardized, okay, where you are able to measure the result, where you are able to see what kind of post, even if people have reposted, you will be able to kind of relate, and if you will be able to kind of monitor. And another thing that missed out by a lot of brands is the response management. Response management is where the customer will feel special. Okay, if I am coming to have a particular say software, okay, I have registered and signed up for demo. That means I am an immediate requirement of a particular software. So the response time from how will you touch that particular consumer via email, via chats, via demos, via guiding him another additional information is something which people are always looking at. Because at an initial stage, your feedbacks are very, very much necessary. Go back to them, check with them how was their journey, how was their service, how is the product, because they are the ones, the most people who will complain are your requirements to develop the product further to cater more and more number of people who wouldn't go with that particular problem. You are trying to solve the problem. So the feedbacks is very much necessary. So the services, I would say the capability of taking the feedbacks and having more interactions and engagement happens at the other level, because they will see your ad once, they have engaged with you, they have liked your page, but they will not like all the products, they will not take all the products, but it is your duty to go back to them and share more and more information about how well it can sync with other products, how well you are trying to retain the consumer, how much comfortable you are making them in giving them that convenience for conducting a business also. Nobody is going to have time. Yes, all the sales people, all the marketing people will always struggle that okay, the client does not have time and all, but you will have to figure out a way. There is WhatsApp, there is email, so you have to build strategies and you will have to develop and start profiling the audience accordingly. Out of my 10 clients, I know 5 clients would love to have an email interaction and they enjoy clicking that smiley buttons and they will quickly give me a response. Maybe there will be 2 customers who are more quicker on WhatsApp.
Actually, that's a pretty challenge that we actually each one of us still facing that okay, how to figure out those things. So just wanted to have a last quick tip, any tip that you want to give to our audience as summarizing all the pointers that we have just discussed. Any tip that you want to bring out here?
So I would say be very clear with the vision. Can be different marketing strategies depending on the products and their objectives.
Right.
So a lot of times people okay, one marketing strategy works all.
Hmm.
It is not like that. So I would say break down everything into small pieces, okay, and try to understand what would be the objective of a particular product, of a particular service, or a particular offering that you are giving it to your consumers. And one thing very clearly, understand who is your consumer, who is your customer. You would not be able to develop. And one thing which I missed out is, I would say, that research. Yeah, so one thing which we tend to miss out is the research, market research.
Yeah, that's
Market
important.
research, a lot of people, again, a lot of startups and all feel that everything is available digitally. Okay, the data is available. You can reach out to the relevant consumers also, but I see a gap where they themselves are not doing the on ground activities. They are not going and reaching out to the consumers and taking a sample set of those consumers which are relevant for your products and services, and understanding that how do we cater. See, they are going to come digitally. I understand everybody wants to have a digital, kind of benefit, that everything has to be digitally done, but ultimately beyond digital is still a human. It will probably not serve the minutest detail requirements that they might have. Okay, so that is one thing. Yes, we are in a digital era, but especially when we consider startups or consumers where they are, across the world or anything, I can understand that sometimes you cannot reach, but like there are ample ways to do research. Videos are there, Zoom meetings are there, meetings can always be virtual. Reach out to that consumer beyond that digital platform.